Okay, so this is my tutorial in Photoshop. Today I am going to be showing you 3 different ways to crop out the background of various images. The 3 ways are the quick selection tool, the magic wand, as well as the pen tool. Okay, so we're going to start this tutorial off with my least favorite but is also still effective, magic wand. So you're going to go to your toolbar and click the magic wand. You can also do this with the hotkey of W, and you're going to go over to your image. And you can see this white background here. You're just going to click anywhere on that and it'll highlight around your image, preserving that. But right now if you hit delete, it will, oh no, hang on. Because I already have it inverse selected, so I'll just go like this. If I have it like this, you have to make sure that you see the dotted line going around your image. If I go like this now, it's just going to delete the image right now. So if we go back and you hit Control-Shift-I or Command-Shift-I on Mac, you will then select inverse and you will see the background or the border be aligned with the dotted line. So now if you hit the backspace or delete key, you now have a perfectly placed, nice clean cut image. This works very well only for one color backgrounds or maximum 2 colors. You want something that's consistent. If you have something like a gradient, it's too hard to get out and you'll never be able to get it perfect. There'll always be some sort of spotch, or it could take a very long time. One more thing I'm going to show you before I go on to the next. Okay. If we have a black background, you have to be aware of this, is if your colors are too close or exactly the same. If I go back to the wand tool and I select, I have to merge these first for this to work. Okay, we wasn't prepared for this. So if I select anywhere, it is now selected the stuff inside the image. So if I hit the backspace now, while this image looks cool like this, it's not what you want if you're doing a portrait or a face or something. It will not be able to work because now there's all this white space and now it's transparent. So you just have to keep that in mind of what you want. And that is our first example right there. On to way number 2, which right here is the quick selection tool. So for this one, it's very simple. It is under the same bar as the magic wand. So it just depends on which one you have. Again, it's the hotkey W. So what we have here is we have this wolf logo. So what you're going to do is, I prefer to set it up here, if we look right here, the size to about 4, and you have the plus and minus. I'll explain those in a minute. So if we highlight over our image, you can see it is selecting, it's smart selecting the colors, which is, again, this will not work if the colors are too close, because then it will just do the same thing as before. See, like right there, see how it's white and white, it'll do that. But you just hold Alt and you'll be able to go along, something like that. So now we have it quick selected and there is the border around, but we still have to do the inverse, so Control-Shift-I to go around, and now we have selected it. So now our wolf should be completely fine to eliminate the background with. But then again, say you don't want that white in the eyes, and you just want to make sure you have everything selected that you want selected. So all these ears and all this black and red is perfect. Again, for this example, it could be perfect to use the magic wand tool, but if we put it on a different background, it wouldn't work. Okay, so now that we have it selected, what you want to do, Control-Shift-I and delete. And there it is. It's another quite easy way to get a crisp cut, but there is some ways, like, it could go wrong if there's a lot of like little hairs on an animal like a wolf or a fox, or any like human hairs on the top of their head that it has a messy hairstyle. It just might take a while and it might not look the best. So you can always refine edges when you're doing this. It'll be up here. And if I go back a bit, there's the refine edge. And you can just see, I can smooth it out. Like that, radius. Like something like that, you know. You don't want to go too much. Something like that. Something like this, and you can see up in the top, right up by the, right up here. It could be a little bit better. So, again, it's Alt to, but since we have it inverse, so if you have it inverse, it'll be the plus to shrink it, and the minus to grow it. Okay, without any further ado, let's get started. So we're going to go right above this large T. It is the pen tool. So we have our pen tool ready to go. Now, what you're going to do is you're just going to click a point. Right there's my point. You see the point right here? And now you're just going to drag up, and you can make bends by just dragging these little dots. And you're going to hit Alt and click the square to make a point. If you don't, you just go like this. It's just going to make a real curve to it, which is great for certain situations, but not for most, not for like making a crisp one. It depends on the edges. Like over this, I might use it a bit It's like a nice bend, like here you could use it, I guess. And now I'm just going to show you is that you just keep going along. You can see how this to be time soon because you have to make constant anchor points and adjust it so you don't go too far. So I'll do a little bit more and then I'm going to speed this up so you don't have to sit through probably like, this could take 30 minutes depending on how accurate I want to be. Which is why it's a great way to do it and you can just zoom in to get more accurate. One more thing I'm going to show you before I switch it is that once I get up here I'll show you something. So that works, that works there. So if I make a point right here, and it's just straight, but you see this background's going to be in it, if you just click anywhere on the line, it'll make another anchor point, and you hit Control, and you can bend it. Control or Command. So I'm going to speed this up, and I will be back once I have finished. Okay, so now that we have it cut out, we can now click in the middle and hit make a selection. I'm going to put it at 1. And there's our selection. So what you can do now is just to inverse it and delete. And you can see how it's pretty much nicely crisp taken out. A little bit of issues right here because you can't go inside for this, at least as far as I know. If I'm wrong, but nice to know. Just want to make sure you get all that background out. So that's our Hugh Jackman cutout, but for any of these what you want to make sure you do is you want to save it as a PNG. So if I hit Control S, you want to make sure you don't want to save it as a PSD, you don't want to save it as a JPEG, because if it's a JPEG it'll have a white background on it like the ones, that's the way you spend your whole time on the first two trying to get rid of. So you want to save it down here as a PNG. You can see there's our PNGs right here. Interlace is fine, and now it'll save it as a PNG. It's just good practice because you want to have this so you can put it on top of something. I'm going to show you 2 examples up on the screen if you have it as a JPEG versus if you have it as a PNG. Okay, and that is going to do it for this tutorial. I hope you found something that you can use in your own edits. And it's pretty much just trial and error, whichever method works well for you, whichever one you like the best. Between me is quick selection and pen tool, but you might find something different. All great ways to get rid of a background, and it's quite very simple as long as you keep trying. If you don't get it, just keep trying it. It'll eventually come to you, and you'll be making great edits. But that's going to do it for the end of this video. Hopefully you found it, and I will see you all next time.